Hey, what's up, guys? We are at it again with another tutorial. Today, not really looking at a build order, but more of a defense build order, where we will be looking at Tempest Cannon Rush memes. I've actually had a lot of requests for this, reasonably so. There are a lot of Protoss players that kind of just all in with cannons every game, and a lot of Terran players have been wondering, how do you deal with it, streamer? So here I am, taking on the world's challenges live on the internet with you guys. So, first things first, this game is special because I'm playing somebody that I know cannon rushes every game. You're not always going to know if somebody cannon rushes you. So, the only difference is that this game I actually didn't build my first SCV and I built the depot right away. And I'm also going to wall this off with the depot in a second here. So what this is going to do is this is going to prevent any probe from actually coming into the base, which is literally the easiest way to defend cannon rushing. But at the same time, it's a blind counter. So if you were playing somebody that decided to build pylons in your base, it's important to pull, I think it's 5 workers per pylon so that they get down quickly as possible. And you put 2 workers on the probe and then you wall off the ramp as quickly as you can. You don't want him to get his second probe in here. You want to kill off everything you can with your SCVs so that you deny high ground vision. Because what we're going to do is we're going to build a bunker on both sides of our ramp so that anything that's sitting on the ramp for vision gets killed. And if you had anything up here, the SCVs would kill it. But obviously there are certain positions where Protoss players will run in with the probe and they'll wall off and they'll hide in the corner. If that happens, the correct response would be to get a bunker outside of the range of it and then slow push it. I've done the thing where I've lifted SCVs in the command center and dropped them inside the pylons, but I don't know if I would recommend that. It's probably not the safest way of dealing with it because they can cancel the pylon and then just deny your landing in your mineral field. But I think the safest ways would be just get a cannon outside of the range of the cannon, or a bunker, sorry, and then slow push it out while still maintaining the vision of your ramp, because you don't want them to build more cannons at the bottom and then slow push you here. So getting into the game, we're going to wall it off, I hope, or I'm just going to scout. Sure thing. Oh, okay. We see a probe. We're pulling it back, getting it in, dude. All right, walled off. So what the Protoss is going to do now is he's going to try to build a pylon down here, and then he's going to put 2 cannons on each side. So what I'm doing with this SCV is a neat little trick. Is I'm trying to get it not built. I think I'm going to leave it unbuilt so that I can cancel it. Because what happens is the cannon will actually shoot this and it'll kill it. So what's the point in finishing the depot if you can just cancel it and get your money back? As long as you're blocking the probe from coming into the base. I think that's the only thing that's important there. So I built a bunker on each side. The reason why you build a bunker on both sides of this is because if you build a bunker here, the probe can actually, there's a golden spot on this ramp on the opposite end where the probe can sit without getting hit by this bunker, and it'll have vision of the top of the ramp. But if you have a bunker on both sides, then the probe can't get vision and he can't sit on the ramp. It's 100 extra minerals, but I mean, it's life or death, so you kind of have to. What I'm going to do with this Marine is just instantly start shooting this. I cancel this here, so I don't lose any unnecessary money. And then we're going to put it in the bunker, and then this will get us vision of this. So it's important to note that when somebody cannon rushes, the logical follow-up is tempest. So it's important to get your second gas quickly so that you can get your tech building as quickly as possible, because you want to be able to get into Viking production very, very fast, because you're not going to have enough Vikings to deal with the tempest if you don't do it quickly. So this is held. He has no vision. I should be moving the Marines to the edge of this ramp to kill this in a moment. What I'm doing right now is another trick that I've kind of developed, and that's building a Reaper. If you build a Reaper and there's a way for you to get out and escape, you can actually send the Reaper to his base, and that forces him to do one of 2 things. The first being building 2 cannons in his mineral line, or building an adept out of his gateway and then recalling the adept back home. Either way, that costs him money that he doesn't want to be spending because it'll delay his build order. So both options are good. No matter what happens, he's got to do it. So that's why I build the Reaper. There are maps where you can't get the Reaper out. Sometimes the Protoss is smart and he'll try to wall this off with his Stargate and his Gateway. If he does that, then the Reaper is kind of useless. But obviously I can't see past the cannons, so it's kind of a gamble if he's doing it or not. I took the gamble this game, and I'm pretty sure it works out for us. So continuing, we get our second gas, and then we're getting our factory. I'm hoping I do it this game. I don't remember, but I should be moving this. Okay, good. The reason I move this barracks is because the Tempest can easily shoot the barracks here. And since this barracks is going to build a reactor that's going to swap with the starport, the starport would end up here. So that's our most important building. And if we're putting our most important building closest to the Tempest, then that's a pretty dumb decision. That's not going to work out. So I'm moving it far away, and I'm continuing to wall this off because the next step for the Protoss is going to be to get adepts to get vision of the high ground. So he's going to constantly shade an adept up here, which will give him free vision without taking any damage. So if you wall that off, then he doesn't get into the base to scout you, and he doesn't annoy you by going behind your mineral line or anything. So there's another thing. So there goes the Reaper. He's off to Narnia to go do his thing. We're not going to focus on him too much. So yeah, we're just getting the factory, and then we'll get our starport next to the barracks, which we will swap. And I'm hoping I finish walling this off, or else that's embarrassing. Come on. I believe in you. Alright, I suck at the video game. Alright, next. NG Bay. Why the NG Bay? Because NG Bays are awesome. They can build turrets. And the thing about this Stargate build is that there is time between when the Protoss builds his Stargate and when the fleet beacon finishes that the Stargate does nothing. So what does the Protoss do? He builds one Void Ray. And if he builds a Void Ray, he can kill our tank. And the only thing that can protect our tank is a turret. So by building a turret on this side and on this side, and then putting a tank here, we can shoot the cannons, we can shoot the pylon, and the turrets will protect us from the Void Ray. So that's why the NG Bay is very important to get. You can afford it. Don't build a command center because you can't afford it. If you build a command center, you've lost the video game. Congratulations. So continuing what I mentioned, we're gonna get a couple Marines first because the starport's not done yet. We're gonna get a tank out of this. Just one tank is good. No need to get more than one. You can usually follow it up with Widow Mines if you choose. I've been starting to go Widow Mines more and more just because it's nice to get hits off on the Tempest if they screw it up, but I mean, you're kind of tight for money anyway, so it's up to you if you want to get more tanks or more Widow Mines. I'm not really sure which one is better, to be honest. So I'm going to put this in position to start. I'm going to go back to my vision so you guys can't see this. To start shooting these off. So notice how this tank is as far back as it can be to still hit this. Like I said, he's going to be building a Void Ray, and we want to be as far away from that Void Ray as possible. As long as you have a turret that's defending the tank, you're good. That's the important thing. So Starport is just constantly making Vikings. That's all it's going to be doing. Just pumping out Vikings non-stop, my dudes. For the magic number, and I'm going to pause one more time, then I'll let it play, I promise. Vikings are the counter to Tempest. You need 12 Vikings to one-shot a Tempest. However, shield batteries will heal the Tempest in between the Viking shots, so 12 Vikings will only kill a Tempest if all the Vikings shoot at the exact same time. Therefore, you need 13 Vikings to kill a Tempest, unless you literally have perfect micro, which I doubt you do, because I don't. You're probably going to fuck it up, and you're going to not kill the Tempest with 12 Vikings, so you need to build 13. So that's the number we're building towards. Obviously, if there's an opportunity to two-shot the Vikings, then two-shot the Tempest, then 7 Vikings is enough to do that. So yeah, we're just slow pushing. Nothing special here. I've pretty much said everything. He comes in to try to kill the tank, which he might actually do. But we kill his Void Ray, so I'm going to rebuild the tank. Obviously, the mistake was I didn't wait for this turret to finish. If this turret was done, that Void Ray would never have killed the tank. That's why you gotta stick to the build, my dudes. Don't mess it up. Don't be like Streamer. Do it perfectly on your first attempt. I'm sorry, we're done. We're just building Vikings. So, we're gonna see a Tempest out here soon. And the Tempest is going to try to shoot either the depots or the bunker or your SCVs. I overbuilt SCVs for a very specific reason, because I'm going to be using them to repair.
Is under attack.
Tempest, fun fact, they kill things very slowly unless they're in high numbers. So you can literally repair up to like 3 Tempests before it becomes a problem. Like, I'm not afraid at all of this unit. This unit's just going to shoot and do, what is it, like 20 damage at a time every 6 seconds. Whoop-de-doo. We're just building up our Viking count, because what's going to happen is once we get to 12 Vikings, we're going to go snipe the Tempest. Or, in this case, I have 7 Vikings, like I mentioned, and this is going to two-shot the Tempest. So I'm going to actually chase it down. The only reason I did this is because he got too close. If you see the Protoss getting too close, then obviously you should charge it. But I would never do this with anything less than 7. I waited specifically to get 7 because, like I said, it takes 2 shots to kill it. If it takes 3 shots, then you're literally walking on top of 3 cannons, and you're going to lose like more than 1 Viking, which is not worth it for you. You want to keep your losses down to a minimum. But we do get it. We snipe it down. And then we get the second one as well. because he fucked up a little bit. But that's okay. I'm not sure how long this replay is. Oh, it goes on 4 more minutes. Cool. We're definitely going to have a lot to talk about at 2 times speed.
Ready to plunder.
So, literally all we're doing is going up to 12 Vikings. That is the magic number. I'll continue to move the tank forward and push at him if he's not going to contest me. He did lose both his Tempest, to be fair, but let's cut him some slack, okay? Basically, anytime... Oh, okay. I didn't think I would chase it, but I mean, I think I was just being a YOLO Terran. I have 8 Vikings, so I'm allowed to lose 1 and still kill it, so...
Ready to plunder.
If you were me, you shouldn't do that. Wait for 12 Vikings and be safe. But, I mean, YOLO's gonna YOLO. I think that's like literally all there is to it. It's not a super overcomplicated defense, in my opinion. I just see a lot of people that'll like try to build Cyclones versus this, and that's not a good response because the Tempest will just snipe you down. And I see a lot of people also try to go Vikings, but they don't wait for the right amount of Vikings, or they wait too long to jump on the Tempest. Like, if you're gonna have 14 Vikings, like if you can get to that point where you have 14 or 15, you can actually just literally jump on this, and what's gonna happen is the Protoss, with all of his Tempests, is gonna run away, and while he's running away, you're gonna be chasing him. So all you gotta do is move past the cannons. So if you lose 3 Vikings while you do that, that's totally fine because you still have enough to one-shot the Tempest. So if you're ever able to get to the golden number of like 15, there's no reason you should ever lose the game. Just charge the Tempest. That's all you have to do. Just charge and YOLO on them. And this is literally the rest of the game. Is just me sniping Tempest, by the way.
Ready to plunder.
One of the things I end up doing is I just send the Vikings to his base, I'm pretty sure. We're going to put this on 4 times speed. This Protoss got pretty sad. His Tempest are not doing well. This is another thing I like to do, is just go snipe his Nexus. Notice by the way how he has 2 cannons here? That's because of the Reaper. That's why it's important to get that. It makes him build things he doesn't want to build.
Ready to
So you should do that. I would recommend. Alright, that's it. We're done. This guy dies to Vikings. We'll watch one. We'll wait for the Vikings to join us. Alright, here we go.
Upgrade complete.
We're gonna YOLO these, and then these guys are gonna back it up.
ready to plunder.
It's gonna be sick. Ready?
Ready to plunder.
Let's watch from the Protoss vision. Oh, the Manor Mule too. This is very important, and I'm gonna stress this. If you're ever in a winning position versus somebody that cannon rushed you, it's very key to drop the mule in vision of the Tempest. Like, you don't want to do it like in the probe line or like in front of the cannons. You want to do it so the Tempest can watch it happen. You know what I mean? So like that, just like that, and then you're good. All right. I'm sorry. This isn't the. This is as good as we get. Okay. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, finger bang the subscribe button, and leave a comment saying how much you loved it and how much your win rate went up. And if it didn't go up, then feel free to leave a comment asking why. And I will get back to you in 2 to 3 business days, and it'll be sick. All right. I love you all, and keep on.